Hi, today I'm going to tell you how you can take a standard dozen roses from the grocery store and how you can arrange them for Valentine's Day. So the first way I'm going to show you how to arrange the roses is the easiest, most classic way, and that's just by popping them in a vase. But there are some tricks to making it actually look good. The first thing you want to know is vase size. These are not enough flowers to fill a large vase, so the vase will actually end up looking really empty. So what I suggest is actually going for a medium to small size vase. This is a good size as well, and I would say even this, while it's tall, it's still very slimming. So the first thing you're going to want to do is fill this with cool water, and then you're going to add the floral food that they give you with the grocery store. So you can just pop this right into the water, give it a stir, make sure it's all dissolved, and then you're ready to start arranging. Okay, well, now that we have our water, the next thing that you can do is use clear plastic tape, as they won't all flop to the edges. If you put some clear strands of tape, you can create a grid that the flowers can then lean against. For this, I'm just using clear, transparent Scotch tape. So I just made an X. You can do this even more. It works best the thinner the tape. The next thing you want to do is clean your roses. I am lucky and I think that these roses don't have any thorns. I don't have to worry about thorns, but otherwise I would just clip those thorns off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove any of the leaves. Just those outer leaves, leave these ones at the top, they're okay. And I'm also going to remove any old outer petals that are kind of not looking as cute. So the other thing we can do is this rose is really tight, so we can help loosen her up a bit, and to do that, I'm just going to hold him like upside down like this. Give him a good twirl. And now the rose has opened up a bit. You can see the difference here between these two. Okay, once I've prepped my rose, it's time to put it in the arrangement. So as you can see, this rose is way too tall for this vase. So I want my rose to be about 1.5 the container length. So to do this, I'm just holding my rose upside down. I'm going, okay, here's one, and here's about half of the container. So I'm gonna clip it right there. If you have pruners, you wanna disinfect them first. Otherwise, you can use sharp kitchen scissors. I've cut my rose at an angle, and I'm just gonna put her in, and just like that. So as you can see, she's leaning against the tape, so she's not gravitating to the edge, but now we have a rose that's actually gonna hold foot in the middle. Even if you aren't cutting down your rose length very much, you still need to give them a fresh cut. So you need to take off about 1 inch from the end of the stem, cut at an angle, and this will allow the flowers to drink up water again. So now I'm just gonna repeat these steps with the rest of the roses. Okay, so that's all of the roses fit inside the vase. I tried to keep the center vase or center rose as the tallest, encompassed around, and then added a few filler roses. I would say this is still even a bit big of a vase for this size of arrangement, but this is what you can expect from a medium-sized vase. Now, if you have a few filler flowers, like baby's breath is really easy to get, very cheap, or even filler greenery, this is also a great time to fill in those empty spots, and it would really look a lot full, but still be a pretty affordable bouquet. Okay, now for the second style that you can use with the same dozen roses. So for this arrangement, I have sized down, so I've gone down to the smaller vase. I'm using the same water. I'm not using a tape grid this time, mostly because the vase is smaller, probably don't need it, and also so you can get a look at what it's like without one. So I'm using the same roses. They're already cleaned and fluffed from last time, but make sure that, you know, all the leaves, all the outer petals are gone and that you've kind of fluff them up a bit. So for this one, it's a really, really easy trick, but it completely transforms the look of the roses. So to do this one, you're actually going to just gently fold back the outer petals like so. So I'm just going one at a time, folding back the petals, being very gentle because I'm not ripping them off, I'm just folding them back. Now rose petals can bruise, so that's why we are being very gentle. And then once I've folded back a few layers, I'm just gently opening up the rose a little bit, and then you get this. So same rose, just a little bit bigger, and then we're going into new water, so we're gonna give it a fresh cut. I'm just gonna put her in, like so. So I'm gonna do this once again to all of the roses, and we'll see how it looks. So as you can see, the roses pretty much doubled in size. They look super full. They almost look like an entirely different flower. It's a very different take on the classic dozen roses, and I think it looks stunning. I chose these roses specifically for this design because they had an outer darker edge and a lighter middle. And so the contrast is really beautiful. You kind of get like this ombre effect. Okay, so for the final arrangement, you just need a heart-shaped bowl, container, whatever. I got this at the thrift store for just a couple dollars. I saw it and I thought this would be great for this project specifically. But around Valentine's Day, it is so easy to find heart-shaped containers. Just go to the dollar store, you'll find a ton. You can even get a metal or a cardboard heart-shaped box. If you do get one of those, you will need to line it first with plastic. This is the plastic that came with the roses, and you can easily use this. So what you would do is you would just cut this down, fill your container with it, chop off the excess. So once it's lined, you can use any kind of container. So I'm going to fill this container with water. I have some of my leftover flower food water from the first batch of roses. Okay, so for this one, I'm going to bring you in nice and close. First things first, you can use either roses that are folded, or you can use the regular ones. I'm going to revert them back to the original shape. Just to do that, I'm literally just going to flip these all back up. And voila, as you can see, the roses are really nice and fluffy now. So for this one, what we want to do is we actually want to remove all of these leaves, because these are going to be sitting in water, and we don't want any leaves to sit in water, as that will gather bacteria. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut them super short. Even shorter than that. Let's see. Perfect. And we're going to fill our rose. And voila, you have your heart shape. So for this one, the trick is to make things really compact. Keep it in the container. Try not to have overspill. If you keep it in the container, you kind of maintain that heart shape. And try to keep all the roses a uniform height so that it looks nice and compact. And those are the 3 different arrangements you can do for Valentine's Day using a dozen roses from the grocery store. As you can see, I've got a couple left over that I can put in a single stem vase, perhaps in the bathroom. Let me know which of the 3 arrangements you plan on trying and which one's your favorite in the comments down below.